In this video, we'll discuss different types of claims: claims of fact, claims of value, and claims of policy. So what you can expect is first, we're going to discuss and define claims in general. So just what is a claim? After that, we're going to provide different examples of claims. And last, I'm going to discuss and provide examples of claims of fact, claims of value, and claims of policy. So let's get into it. First of all, what is a claim? According to your text and according to just kind of some other information here, at the point that we are forced to justify a statement, it then becomes a claim. So claims assert something. So it's a statement, right? So claims are asserting something. So they're putting forward something. They are typically a single sentence. Usually you can distill a claim down into a single sentence. And claims assert something. Claims are not questions. And according to your text, a claim is a statement that the advocate believes or is in the process of evaluating. Okay, so it's something that the advocate is putting forward. So it's a belief. It's not just an internal belief, but it's an expressed belief and is in the process of evaluating. And when we say evaluating, what we mean here is discussing it and putting through analysis. Okay, so an explanation. So it's not like you're thinking about it, but usually it's being asserted. So this is the advocate, right? So the advocate's the person who is putting forth this claim, who's supporting this claim. So here's some examples of different claims. Burritos are awesome. So that's a claim. Notice this is not a question, right? We're not saying, are burritos awesome? We're saying burritos are awesome. Burritos are better than tacos. So notice here, we're not just talking about the awesomeness of burritos. Now we're talking about burritos and also comparing them over here with tacos. We're also saying, I made a burrito. So something that's happened in the past, right? I made a burrito. We're stating this. And again, at the point that we question this, it becomes a claim. So once we have to, we cast some sort of uncertainty, then we have this as a claim as opposed to just a statement. Eating burritos will make you full. Okay, so here we've got a cause and effect claim. So here we're looking at eating burritos as the cause and you being full as the effect. You should come eat a burrito with me. So now we're saying that you should go do something. So notice how this is different than the others because here we're actually advocating for change. We're advocating for some sort of action to be taken. We're saying that you should come with me and get a burrito. My dog is eating my burrito. Here we're describing something that's going on. So with my dog, we're saying this is what's happening. He's eating my burrito. I am a burrito. Now, I know this is just a screencast right now, but I'm not a burrito. So notice that this doesn't have to be true, right? This can be a false claim, and then I can explain to you how it is that I'm not a burrito. Okay, if we don't want to talk about burritos, though, here's some that might be a little bit more current in the political landscape or just a little more serious. Donald Trump is awesome. Okay. Hillary Clinton would have made a better president than Donald Trump. Okay. Instagram is owned by Facebook. The United States federal government should significantly change sentencing and treatment of nonviolent drug offenders. It is wrong to use fame to influence political causes. The U.S. should provide asylum to more international victims. The U.S. should make voting in all elections mandatory. Safety is more important than freedom. Converting solar energy can save homeowners money. And Eric Robertson is president of the United States. So notice that these are all claims, but these are different types of claims. So what we're going to do in just a sec here is look at these different types of claims, and then we'll go back and we'll label all of these. Okay, so Eric Robertson is president of the United States. So notice just like with the burrito thing where I said I am a burrito, well, I'm not a burrito. I'm also not the president of the United States. So notice that claims do not have to be true. They just have to be asserting something, and then we can show that they are false. But we can also still try and provide evidence to support them, even if we may lose the argument. Okay, so, but before we go any further, did you have any feelings about the previous claims, right? If we go back here and you look at all of these, did some of those make you feel like angry or anything like that, or kind of start getting upset or heated? You know, people talk about arguments being heated sometimes. Stop it, okay? This class is not about getting heated. Arguments are not yelling. Arguments are not anything like that. Arguments are what it is that we do when we assert something and we have evidence and reasoning for support. So this class is not about supporting your own beliefs. This class is about unpacking any argument so we can better understand what is happening when we talk to other people. So you may be able to use some of this stuff to better support your beliefs, but I think hopefully, first of all, what you would be able to do is unpack some of the reasoning and some of the evidence and some of the the logic and everything that you've put together in your own arguments to better understand your own positions better. And once in a while when we do this, we find that some of our own positions have some flaws that we find ourselves being confronted with. And also, if they don't, right, if you're like, okay, now I understand my position even better, now I'm better able to express it to other people in a more elegant and maybe sometimes more sophisticated way, a more supported way, a stronger way, things like that. Okay, but what we're really going to focus about here is unpacking any argument so we can better understand what's happening when we talk to other people. So there's 3 different types of claims in this class: claims of fact, claims of value, and claims of policy. In your text in chapter 2, these are also called propositions of fact, propositions of value, and propositions of policy on, I think it's page 23, 24, 25, right in there. Okay, so if you're looking for more explanation from your text, you're going to be able to see these explained a little bit more over there. So let's just look at some definitions here, though. This is straight from your text. Claims of fact are statements that report, describe, predict, or make causal claims. Okay, so causal as in like cause and effect type claims. Okay, so that would be a claim of fact. All right, claims of fact are statements that report, describe, predict, and make causal claims. So here's some examples. So a claim of fact would be, again, this is one of the ones that we just had a second ago. Converting to solar energy can save homeowners money. Okay, so this is a claim of fact because if we go back to our definition, this is something that is reporting or describing, and it's also kind of predicting. It's also making a cause and effect, right? So converting to solar energy, so doing X, is going to save homeowners money. So this one actually is doing all of those things kind of simultaneously. Here's another one. I made a burrito. Okay, so this one, we go back to our definition here. This one's kind of, it's either reporting or describing. It's not predicting because it's in the past. It's not a causal claim. So this one's reporting or describing, kind of the same thing. I made a burrito, so something that happened. So you're establishing the existence of something that happened in the past. Here's another one. Eric Robertson is president of the United States. Okay, so we're describing the presidency of the United States and saying who is the president. Again, these don't have to be true, but this is considered a claim of fact, just a false claim of fact. Okay, so again, claim of fact is a statement that reports, describes, or predicts, or makes causal, meaning cause and effect claims. Claims of value are statements that advance judgments about morality, beauty, merit, or wisdom. Okay, our operative word here, our key word here is judgments, so we'll look at this a little bit further. Here's some examples from our list from before. Donald Trump is awesome. Now notice, okay, so claims that advance judgments about morality, beauty, merit, or wisdom. So here merit is kind of what's being seen. Awesomeness. So notice we're advancing judgments. So in order for something to be a claim of value, we have to have some of these ambiguous words, right? These words that the audience needs to be able to have their own interpretation of really what it is that they mean in order for them to truly have meaning. So if you were to say Donald Trump is awesome, the question is, what do you really mean here? Like, what does awesome mean in this particular circumstance? Now, what's going to happen here is the audience is going to be forced to put in their own value paradigm to actually show what this means. So in other words, the audience is going to say, well, awesomeness in this context means this to me, okay? And then the debate would go forward from there. Okay, but when you're making judgments, the judgments come from the values of the audience in order to interpret and understand some of these ambiguous words. Okay, so that word awesome could mean a lot of different things, right? And the audience is going to unpack that. And when you're making the argument here, let's say you're trying to support this, one of the things that you would want to do is you would want to be able to have your values lining up with the audience's values in terms of how that word awesome is going to be interpreted, right? Because if the two of you have very, very conflicting ideas of what the word awesome means, then you're not going to get them to agree with what it is that you're going to be saying. Here's another one. Safety is more important than freedom. Okay, so notice our keywords here are more important, and really important is kind of the most significant here. So safety is more important than freedom. Okay, how, right? So when we see this term more important, you have to explain how. So how is safety more important than freedom? Right? So what does that really mean? And again, your job here is to convince the audience what those terms mean in order to win the argument. And they have to kind of agree with you about the definitions here of more important. And more important doesn't really mean anything on its own, right? You can't just say, what's the definition of important? It's kind of circular, but you have to have examples. So here you would say safety is more important than freedom, and here's how. And you give examples of what that really means when you're comparing those two things. Here's another one. Burritos are better than tacos. So if you're looking at this, hopefully by now you're looking for that operative, that kind of vague word. So better, right? Burritos are better than tacos. How are burritos better than tacos? What is it about burritos that may make them better than tacos? Is it the way that you hold them because they don't have an open area? Is it the price? Is it because they're more filling? Is it because they're bigger? Is it right? So what does that word better mean? Your audience's value paradigm, your audience's values, and your explanation of that term better and your judgment on that term is going to make it so this is a strong or weak argument. So again, claims of value are statements that advance judgment about morality, beauty, merit, or wisdom. A claim of policy is a statement that urges that an action be taken or discontinued. Okay, so action be taken or discontinue. So here, if you dig a little bit deeper, so this is advocating for change to the status quo. And really what that means is that we're trying to make something different than the way that it currently is. Okay? So a statement that urges that an action be taken or discontinued. So you're advocating that some sort of action be taken to make it so the status quo is different. Here's some examples. You should come eat a burrito with me. Now, if this is going to be making a change, you have to have the assumption here that right now you are not eating a burrito with me, right? Because if you're eating a burrito with me, then there's no action, no change, nothing's happening. But if you're not eating a burrito with me right now, then this is going to be considered a claim of policy. Notice that word should. Typically, whenever you see the word should, it's going to be a claim of policy. Okay, so and there's nothing magical about the word should. It's just that when you have the word should, you're usually saying that something needs to be done, right? You should do this, right? Usually there's action when we say something like that. You should come eat a burrito with me. Here's another one. The U.S. should make voting in all elections mandatory. So notice here we're trying to make a change that an action be taken or discontinued. Here this would be an action be taken. And notice that if you've ever heard the term policymakers, and when we're talking about people either in Washington or other people that are in government who are making laws, this is kind of comes from the same origin here. We call them policymakers because they are creating statements, so bills, laws, things like that, that urge that a change be made, that something be different, that an action be taken or discontinued. Okay, so you never would elect someone who says, I'm going to do absolutely nothing, right? Everyone has a platform for how they're going to be making changes, what they're going to do when they're in office. So that's what's usually, if you ever heard that term policymakers, that's kind of where those two overlap. Here's another example. The U.S. should provide asylum to more international victims. Okay, so here we've got the U.S. should do more. Okay, so again, making a change to where things currently are. Again, a claim of policy is a statement that urges that an action be taken or discontinued. So let's go back through those examples of claims. We gave you a couple of these with the examples before, but we'll just label each of these. Okay, so we'll start out with our claims of fact. So look at all of these. In your mind, here's a good just test for yourself. Pause this, okay? Pause the video right now and see if you can label each one. What's the first one, second one, third one? Is this a claim of fact, claim of value, claim of policy? We went through some of these, but let's see if we can get them all right. Okay, so pause it right now. And I'm assuming that you paused it, and I'm going to keep going. Okay, here we go. Claims of fact. Sorry, claims of value. Burritos are awesome, right? That awesome word, the word awesome. Burritos are better than tacos, also claim of value. I made a burrito, claim of fact. Eating burritos will make you full. This is a cause and effect, claim of fact. My dog is eating my burrito, claim of fact, right? We're stating the existence of a condition. I am a burrito, stating the existence and describing something. You should come eat a burrito with me, claim of policy. Okay, how'd you do? Let's go to the other ones. Down here, the U.S. should make, pause this real quick. Look at all these. I gave you one freebie right there. Pause this and see how you can do. Okay, pause it. See if you can go through and label each of these in your mind. Claim of fact, claim of value, or claim of policy. Okay, I'm assuming you paused it. Going forward. The U.S. should make voting in all elections mandatory. Notice we're advocating for change. The U.S. should provide asylum to more international victims, also a policy. The United States federal government should significantly change sentencing and treatment of nonviolent drug offenders, also a claim of policy, trying to make things different. We also have that should word. Hillary Clinton would have made a better president than Donald Trump, a claim of value. Notice that we have that word better, right? That's implying some sort of judgment. And also we need to have our own value paradigm in here. Better how, right? What does better actually mean when we say it in a situation like this? Donald Trump is awesome. That is a claim of value. Again, that word awesome, needing definition, needing explanation, needing a value paradigm in order to understand the statement. It is wrong to use fame to influence political causes. So what's our word here that would trigger that we think this is a claim of value? The word wrong, right? So wrong how? Like, what do we really mean by that in this situation? Safety is more important than freedom. Claim of value as well. More important. This was one of our examples, but more important also needs definition, it needs judgment, it needs understanding by both the speaker and the audience. Converting to solar energy can save homeowners money. This is a claim of fact. This is a cause and effect claim of fact. It's stating that by doing X, then Y happens. So by converting to solar energy, you will save money if you are a homeowner. Claim of fact. Eric Robertson is President of the United States. Claim of fact. This is stating the condition or the existence of something. It's describing something. It's not necessarily true. Claims don't have to be true, but this is considered to be a claim of fact. And Instagram is owned by Facebook, also a claim of fact. Notice that this is something that you're just stating the existence of something, you're describing something. Okay, so what we covered, we discussed and defined what a claim is. We provided examples of different types of claims. After that, we discussed and provided examples of claims of fact, claims of value, and claims of policy. And then we went back through and we labeled all those different claims. Okay, so this was a lecture discussion on claims of fact, claims of value, and claims of policy. Again, this is one of those lectures that you really need to understand and be able to identify these different things. I promise you this shows up on tests and things all over the place. This is foundational for the course, so make sure that you understand it. If you don't, go back and watch it again. Cool, thanks.